Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another podcast. I haven't done one in 2 days, so now I'm going to do another one, a shorter one, not as long as last week. But this is a 2010 movie, I believe. It came out a few years after the 2008 Death Race movie. Death Race 2, unrated. Yeah, let's get to this movie. It's about an hour and 41 minutes. Wait, no. I said play. Yeah, there we go. The chat is open for all you guys that are real. No bots this time. I had a really good time watching Superman last night. I did my review for that, so you guys can see that review on my channel. And there's going to be plenty of other reviews later this month. Yep, in the near future, the U.S. President private corporation take over all federal correctional facilities. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wayland. Mm-hmm. This one's not as good as the 2008 movie that Paul W. Sanderson did with Jason Statham, but it's fine. It's decent for what it is. I don't hate it like other movies. I've seen way worse this year. Death Race 2. There's Danny Trejo, who's in almost everything now. Luke Goss is the lead in this one, not Jason Statham. It's mostly a foreign cast. Fred Kohler, I never heard of him. Tanit Phoenix is one of the girls in the movie. Robin Shaw, I heard of him. He's, from Mortal Kombat. Lauren Cohen, not a fan. Don't care about her in The Walking Dead, guys. She sucks. Patrick Lister. So the girls are not really for me in this movie. But hey, the last movie had whatchamacallit, that Spanish girl who's actually cute. This girl, Danny Charles Goldberg, yeah, he's not Jewish. Ving Rhames, I've heard of him. And Sean Bean, because he has to die in everything he's in. I don't see much of a difference between this and the R-rated cut. Mm-hmm. And you notice there's mostly men in that prison. There she is. Yeah, you're not Rachel Brosnahan. Mm-mm. She's gonna soar to the sky and get more roles. She was forgotten after they put her in Invincible. She was in like the prequel to with Adam Eve, and we haven't seen her since. Yeah, gee, I wonder why. Because they know that she can't act. She can't carry a show. The Walking Dead was popular because of the zombies. That's all. Don't cuss. I don't need it. I don't like British chicks. There's a reason that the new Superman movie didn't have that. They didn't want the movie to flop because British chicks were in the movie every single year, every month, every single freaking franchise. They had to force them in there. At least with this, they didn't. They had some foreign chicks, mainly the lady that was playing the engineer and whatever, but she's not important to the plot. She's just a henchwoman. That's it. She's no Daniela Melchior. Not even close. Cohen, yeah, I knew there was something about this that I didn't like from the first movie. With the first, in this continuity, anyway. Luke Goss is not as good as Jason Statham, but he's not as bad as Lauren Cohen. Cohen just can't act. I don't know why she has a career. Because Walking Dead came out around the time that this was released. Direct to video, by the way. If you know Luke Goss, he was the main vampire in Blade 2. The bald vampire that, that's kind of a hybrid, that he's really pale. Yeah, he's the main lead in this movie. And in the second, Death Race 3, which I haven't seen yet. I didn't mention this in my review, but whatchamacallit, David Cornsweet, he sounds like Brendan Fraser. He does. He reminds me of Brendan Fraser a lot. Those big eyes and that voice, yeah. And he can act. Oh my God, pinch me. A non-British Superman that can act. I missed that, man, a lot, so much. I did. But again, this is not about Superman. This is a different movie. Roger Corman, may he rest in peace. And get well soon, Renegades React. I know Nate went through something. I saw his video yesterday. Yeah, get well soon, man. Time heals all wounds. Yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson produced this movie with one of his writers. Tony Giglio wrote this. Anderson wrote the story. Directed Rainey. Yeah, he did a bunch of other action films too. Is he a great director? No, but he's not the worst. Movable, gives him a run for his money. Hey, superhero fan, what's up? This is an action movie, I can't really say that this is equals better than Taken. Oh, Taken 2, definitely. This is better than both Taken sequels and Transporter 3 because I can see what's the action. I can see what's going on. This movie is way better than Taken 2 or 3. It's not perfect, but it's got much better editing, and I can see what's going on. I'm not shaking the camera every time Luke Goss drives a car. And no, Sean Bean's not the villain in this movie. Because he's not on the front cover, see? I haven't seen this movie in years. I heard the commentary by the director, who's foreign, but he did a decent job with this. I'd rather be able to see the action than have to, have the action shake the camera and bad editing. They didn't do that in Superman. I could see most of the action clearly, clear as a bell. There's Ving Rings. Why did they kill him off in Mission Impossible? I don't know, because he was running out of time. Yeah, she's just awful. Anna de Armas gets all that crap for ballerina. She can act. This girl can't. She proved that she can lead a movie if it's not a sequel to John Wick or a spinoff. Because John Wick, people want to see it for him. When you don't give the people what they want, they're not going to show up. When you do give the people what they want, they show up in droves with shirts on, and I was the only person in the theater with a cape. Yeah, think about that. Yeah, give me Anna Klumsky any day over you, Lauren. You'll never be Wonder Woman. Mm-mm. The next Wonder Woman has to have dark hair and a personality, like Gal did. Even though people are like, oh, she can't act. Again, guys, I've seen worse. You've never seen the hobo act. Have you seen her act since Star Wars? Not in much, right? COVID mask. This movie came out over a decade ago, man. This is when direct to video was still around. Now we have direct to streaming, which is where some films need to stay. There was a cameo in the movie that made me smile like my ears off. It was in the first half of the film, but I'm not going to say a thing for Superman. It was just fantastic. I was like, yeah, you got me there. Cin- we're about almost 10 minutes in. This is cool. See, I can see the action. I can see it there. It's a well lit room, and I can see Luke Goss doing it. And while he's no Jason Statham, he's fine. Mm-hmm. Guy's got a gun. I gotta eat something. Yep, gotcha. That guy's down. Yeah, because we go from the Spanish girl to this girl, who's not a good actress at all. I think it was Natalie Martinez or something like that. We go from her to this chick. Yeah, no, that's a downgrade for me. Some foreign chick that nobody cares about. Yeah, where she literally was in like one episode of Invincible because they know she can't act. When they created that show, they had to have people that can act and carry the show with their voices, like J.K. Simmons and Sandra Oh and Stephen Yang and freaking Jillian Jacobs. Yeah, people that can actually act. Okay, not people that can't hold an action for 2 hours. That's a cool car. It's a yellow car. Is it on the front cover? No. I love this. I love seeing movies at home too. Different view. Oh, you mean that it's a wide angle lens? Yeah, because I'm using a webcam. On my phone, I have to do this, but with this, I can. My hands are free because I wanted, to. I wanted my hands to be free because I did my review with my phone yesterday, Salvatore. That's just how it is. Is there a bag here that I can get rid of? Yeah, this one. Wait, not this one. Uh, it's a fun movie. It's worth a one watch. I haven't seen the other two. There's like a Death Race 3 and 4, but Luke Goss was already gone after 3. At least I could see it's not 2.5 hours because you don't need a movie to be that long. Superman was about 2 hours and change, so like 2:03 or something like that, without the end credits. Widescreen looks better. Yeah, it does. You can see more of me. Yeah. Why did you destroy that TV? It didn't do anything to you. Sean Bean, I told you, he gets mad in a lot of movies. or dies. Tomorrow I'm gonna do another action film, Vehicle 19. I'm gonna do it earlier than this though, because I have to go somewhere. So it's a good looking film for the time it was made. Whee! Yeah, that car is destroyed. Both of those cars. Have you seen the latest Nicolas Cage movie, The Surfer? No, never heard of it. Is it from Australia? I've never heard of it. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a Nicolas Cage movie in a while. I've mostly done podcasts for his past films, like Sorcerer's Apprentice and the Croods movies. That was a cool shot. 6 months later, yeah, he's in prison, of course. I've seen this. I've seen this chubby kid before. Guy. Highly recommend it. It's a very unique type of movie, not what you would expect. Yeah, I know. With Cage, you gotta expect the unexpected. We're about 17 minutes in. I wanted to do movies under 2 hours, mainly because for most of this month, because 2 hours is a lot to ask. That's why when I did Dune, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do the Denis Villeneuve movie for a while until I'm ready. Carl Lucas. You ever seen Stolen? Yeah, I saw Stolen a couple years back. I had the DVD, so I saw it then. It was in a compilation, so yeah. He has a lot of films. Cage has a huge library of films. Excuse me. That meat looks good. That girl looks like Blake Lively. It's not her though. At least she wasn't in the movie, right? There were no actors in Superman that needed while some could have been cut, there weren't any actors that made me cringe. Like, oh, why are they in the movie? I knew that Nicholas Holt was going to be the main villain. Though, he's Lex freaking Luthor. What do you expect? But he gets what he deserves. Trust me, that third act, I had a smile on my face all the time. Like, yeah, you deserve that and more after what you put me through in those X-Men movies. And I still haven't seen Nosferatu or any of these other films he did because just I'm not a fan. I like them in Jack the Giant Slayer. That's it. Every other movie, he's trying too hard to try to impress me. No, don't work with him again, Gunn. Just hire somebody else next time. He was only in that movie because he said no to Mission Impossible because he knew that was a sinking ship after Fallout. Because Dead Reckoning Part One flopped, and Final Reckoning, while it's made its money back, it's not going to make a profit like Barbie or the Minecraft movie or even Lilo and Stitch. It was a flop. Vampire Kiss is another one. I have that one because that meme where Nicolas Cage goes over the top and does the wide eye lens in one scene. You're like this. Yeah, I've seen that movie. I got it at the dollar store a few years ago. I'll probably do a podcast for that in Halloween because it's a horror comedy thing. Way better. Again, it is better than the Taken sequel, Spidey. There's Robin Shaw, bald. Still the best Liu Kang because they did nothing with Liu Kang in the 2021 Mortal Kombat. No. Yeah, nobody cares about you, Lauren. Yep, Death Race. Here we go. Or the scene where Nicolas Cage says it's too late, too late. Thank God they never made that actress April O'Neil. Again, Anna de Armas is better than you. Robin Shaw should have been in Mortal Kombat 2021. Yeah, they got another actor to play him and they underuse him. And then the main character is not even a character from the game. What do I got to be excited about? Oh, Carl Urban is playing Johnny Cage. He's not American. Yeah. Urban is fine in the Star Trek movies and such, and Doom, but he doesn't need to be in everything, guys. Mm-hmm. 10 seconds. She's just Joan Allen's character from the first movie, who was way better. I'm a vampire. I'm a vampire. I remember that scene. Here we go. Advantage. This is like the Hunger Games, but a lot more violent. Deactivated. She's rigging the game. He's the only Asian guy in the movie. And I prefer Robin Shaw with hair, because here he's bald. He was also in that terrible Street Fighter sequel, or spin-off, this Resident of Chun-Li, which I didn't see because I heard it was horrible. The first movie wasn't exactly good. They made him Gen, and Gen is an old man in the games in Street Fighter Alpha. Nope, it didn't kill him. Yes, he did. Roll Ryan, the director of Death Race sequels, did Hard Target 2. I skipped it. I heard it was horrible. Even the Marine 2, which I heard was mixed, it's just the thing is that Ted DiBiase Jr. is not an actor. He's not. He also did um the sequel to 12 Rounds with Randy Orton. I thought that was decent. It wasn't as good, but it wasn't terrible. There's Tanit Phoenix. If you remember her, she was the one of the vampire girls in Lost Boys, the Thirst. Decent sequel, but the girls are just not for me. I mean, she's a South African chick. Well, she's no Charlize Theron. At least she has some talent. I'll give her that. She won an Oscar, so I give her. But her and Lauren Cohen do nothing for me compared to Rachel Brosnahan in Superman. They're not even in the same league as her. She's hot and never has to be sexualized in that movie, which is nice. They had a Lois that had a personality that doesn't need to be saved all the time. Not every single second, That was nice to see. She made Margot Kidder would have been proud. Hey, baby. Hard Target 2, I look at it as a standalone, but it's not good. The first movie was good. It has its flaws, but it's a good movie. They should have just called it Hard Target the Return, or Hard Target the New Beginning or something. Don't call it 2 and there's no Van Damme in the movie. Scott Adkins is not Van Damme. Mm-hmm. Yep. This is fine. If you've never seen this movie, I would say watch it after you see the 2008 movie. This is actually a prequel because it takes place before Jason Statham wears the mask and becomes Frankenstein. Even though Luke Goss is a different character, it's not the same character. Because really, you're going to watch a movie like this for the acting? Not really. No, you watch it for the spectacle and the action and the violence and the racing. And unlike Fast and the Furious, this doesn't drag for 30 extra minutes. Roll and he has done numerous direct-to-video films, but yeah, I will take some of his films any day over Uwe Boll, Zack Snyder, and even some of these action directors that don't know what the hell they're doing. Like even Mel Gibson. His last movie was terrible. Uh, think about it. Yeah, the director of what was it? Flight Risk, wasn't that the movie he did? Yeah, I didn't see that. I heard it was horrible. The soundtrack is okay because some people compare this guy to Uwe Boll. No, he made some of the worst video game movies you've ever seen. His only good film is Rampage, a 2009 standalone movie that is not based on a video game. That's why it was competent. That proved that Bold, when he gives a damn, can make something watchable, but everything else is just bad. Yep, Danny Trejo is in everything now. Because back, he was in prison back in the 70s or 80s or something like that. He became an actor, and it worked out for him. Robert Rodriguez gave him a big break, and he's been in a lot of stuff since. Wanted to do this early because I got to clean my room later. You guys can hear me, right? Yeah, I'm just pumped, man. DC is gonna knock it out of the park. When those box office receipts come in by Sunday, this movie's gonna make $1 billion by the month of August. I can almost mark my words because this movie needs it. Batman's been to the $1 billion club and Aquaman, but we need Superman to be there too. Hmm. There's this 360 shot, and unlike Ed Skrein or Nicholas Holt, at least Luke Goss has some kind of presence to him. He was good in Blade 2 as the main villain. At least he was intimidating and scary. Holt is not scary. He's too young for the role. I've been saying that since when the movie came out. That he's only 3 years older than David Cornsweet, and I'm like, he looks it. He doesn't look like he's. Luthor's supposed to be older than Superman, at least in human form. Yeah, when they got Gene Hackman, he was way older than Christopher Reeve. He was like 40 when he did the first movie. Thoughts on Pistol Whipped? It's decent for what it is. Compared to some of other Seagal's movies, at least he's not fat and overdubbed in that. This is fine for a Saturday morning. It's a fun little movie. I haven't seen in a while, so the prisoners are lining up outside. Yep, of course, a riot breaks out. Thoughts on Safe and Homefront? I saw Safe. Safe was pretty good. I haven't seen Homefront yet. I heard it was kind of boring. The Safe was surprisingly good with him and the Asian girl. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. See, I told you the accent slips out every time. That's why I never saw that sequel to Van Wilder because I'm like, she's in it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'll take Tara Reid any day in the first one over you. And while she looks older now, she is a. I prefer watching her in anything than her. Parker, no, I haven't seen Parker. I like actresses that actually sound natural, not when they're forcing an accent that they don't have. Sorry, not everybody can do it. Not everybody. Yeah, you're not exactly smart either. You did the Rise of Raj. That was a character in Van Wilder, the first one. That wasn't good. And The Walking Dead, she got lucky with that. Won't get lucky again. I found out the prices of the people that are going to Comic Con this year, but it's hit and miss. But maybe they'll add more people for Friday. hmm I'm not paying $141 for an autograph. That's too much money. With that, I could get 3 autographs of other people. Yeah, I don't want to see that. I saw that yesterday. Yeah, Beekeeper 2 is in there. The first one was pretty good. Statham really sold that, and it's something that shouldn't have worked, but it did. For some reason, it didn't work. I didn't want to see that after basketball. I don't want to see that. Yeah, I'll be like, don't touch it. We're 36 minutes in. Trust me, if that was me in that situation, I had nothing to lose. I'd suplex you through a wall, biatch. The Mechanic movies, I saw the remake, and I saw the sequel to the remake, Resurrection. I don't think I've seen the original. I don't know if I did. I would care about you if you were American and Canadian, but you're not, Cohen. So no thanks. I don't care if she was born in the U.S. and raised in the UK. You don't have the accent I want. Unlike the new Mission Impossible, the movie didn't cost 400 million. No, this didn't cost that, and neither did Superman. It's about half that, and the money was on the screen. These gorgeous visual effects, the makeup, the costumes, they're real. Green Lantern's costume is not CGI this time. It's real. It's a real suit. Granted, it doesn't look like in the comics, but it's Mechanic Resurrection is even better. Yeah, I liked it better than the first one because it's not as downbeat. There's more action. It's dumb, but I didn't hate it like the first one. The first one, I hated the ending because Ben Foster dies, and it was for nothing. I gotta watch these sheets. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with her. She was on that. She was on the Walking Dead for years and never won an Emmy, and nobody cared. Her and Andrew Lincoln, I don't care about them. You're Brits. You're not American. Get out of my face. I know Luke Goss is not American either, but this is not. This is a direct-to-video film, so it was in the right place. This wasn't in theaters. After the 2008 movie, they never did another Death Race movie in the theater. Everything was direct-to-video. Yeah, Tanit, she just looks at things. She don't, She doesn't have a lot of character. These That's a real fence too. There's not a lot of CG in this movie. It's mostly some of the blood. Advantage. Simon West, yeah, great action director of Con Air. Stolen with Decent, the Mechanic remake is a step down. The General's Daughter is underrated. I have to see that one. Wild Card, which is the other Stay the Mother with Decent. I didn't see that because Sofia Vergara's in that, and I'm not a fan of hers. Her accent hurts me psychologically, guys. Yeah, even in Despicable Me 4, there's a reason they didn't give her a lot of dialogue. She can't act, and that accent is so thick you could cut it with a knife, man. Jeez, what's wrong with this guy? Ah! Flamethrower. Again, Ballerina did this scene pretty cool. Yeah, it is. It is. That's racist. Yes. Yes, there's some racist dialogue in this movie. Don't blame me. I didn't write this movie. I'm just watching it. Expendables 2 is fun. It's the only good sequel because 3 and 4 are horrible. Fun fact, Simon West started as a music video director. Yeah. He's on fire. And they throw that fence down. This is like Assault on Precinct 13. I saw the original. I haven't seen the remake. Market shares. Delivery Megaton was the wrong choice for the. Yeah, he's a terrible director. He shakes the camera and edits his movies like he's on crack. You think? I don't start riots. We're almost an hour in. Let me check something quick. Package is out for delivery. Good. I should get it. No, I don't want to do that, Sean Bean. Package is out for delivery. Okay, good. So my game is going to come today. The uh, game on the Switch that I'm getting. Which are some of your favorite action directors? McTiernan, but he's no longer directing because he went to prison. You got what you would call it? So, Christopher O'Quarrie. I liked him. He most of the Mission Impossible's he did were entertaining. I didn't see Final Reckoning because I heard it was bad. It's too long, guys. Superman is about 30 minutes shorter than Final Reckoning, and there's a reason it's making money. Not just because it's an IP that's been around for years, because it hasn't been a Superman movie in theaters in years by himself without Batman. And also, it's fun and it's not long. I didn't feel like, oh God, this movie's way too long. No, there were DC movies that were way longer than that. Look at the Snyder Cut. Yeah, that's like 4 hours long. John Woo's another one, yeah. Excuse me. Isaac Florentine, yeah. Rennie Harlan. That movie with The Rock, he looks good in it. No, that UFC fighting movie. But the thing is, why is Emily Blunt in the movie? I told you she can't act. Oscar nominee, yeah. For Oppenheimer, anybody would have gotten an Oscar for that movie. They could have put Jason Statham in that movie and would have gotten an Oscar because the Academy loves white bread actors that are in artsy fartsy biopics and things like that. I don't care what the Oscars think. Superman's probably going to get overlooked, even though it should get for makeup and for the costume design alone. Andrew Davis, Mark Elder. Your what? Virginity? I don't know. Yeah, that guy's dead. We're 48 minutes in. The only profitable thing is a woman. You think Clint Eastwood's a great director? Yeah, for some of the things he's done and the things he's acted in over the years. Nope, wouldn't kiss you. You could kiss something else. You think? Clearly. Yeah. See, I told you the accent just take me out of the movie. Paul Verhoeven definitely knows how to make the movies bloody. Yeah, again, RoboCop, Starship Troopers. Hmm. No, Wicked made money. I never watched The Walking Dead or its spin-offs because I don't care. If I want to see zombies, I'll see a Romero film, or I'll see the remake of Dawn of the Dead, or the World War Z. There's plenty of zombie movies and shows that I can watch that are better. Not zombies because I saw that first movie and I was not a fan. A lot of ammunition. Total Recall, yeah, the original. The only I saw the remake, but it had a lot of problems. One of them being Kate Beckinsale, because I told you after Underworld Evolution, I'm like, yeah, I'm not a fan. Sorry, I don't need to see her in another Underworld movie. Those films have run their course. A show could work. Freedom. Hmm. 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 Yeah, see, they give the name in this movie, so it's a prequel to the 2008 movie, not a sequel. Tony Scott. Yeah, that sounds good. So DC did well. Their cinematic universe failed, so they're trying again, and it's working. It's going to work this time. Yeah, like on streaming. Hmm. Nine cars. Good stunt work. Again, I can see what's going on. That was a cool flip. Of course, Luke Goss is going to get one. He's the main character of the movie. Again, that's not what she's there for. It's like Mario Kart, except more deadly. That's a real cool car. It's like a tank, like an armored tank. Again, every man for themselves, like the Royal Rumble match. Yeah, the prisoners are only men in this movie. The women are just side characters. Not all the Death Race movies. Not all of them. But I do enjoy the original from 1970s, Death Race 2000. Yeah, it's more low budget, but Stallone's in it, and it had a cool premise. And I like the 2008 movie. This movie's decent. I haven't seen the others. 3 and 4 I haven't seen. I saw 2058 or whatever it was called. What was it? Was it Death Race 2050 or something like that? Yeah, that movie's crazy. I did a podcast for that a few years ago. It's nuts. It's the craziest of all the movies. It's colorful and violent and just mental. It is. Let me see. 2050, yeah. Big Bill. Yeah, Death Race 2050. That movie was absolutely mental. I bought it at Best Buy a long time ago, and I saw it. And I was like, "Wow, this movie's really, really strange, but it's fun. It has personality." David Carradine was also in the original Kung Fu. Yeah. 14K. Kalen. There it is. Like I said, a deadlier Mario Kart. Hillbilly. Gotta review the sniper movies. There's too many of them. Too many of them. I haven't seen one of the sniper movies in years. It's 10 o'clock already. Yep, that guy's dead. Hillbilly is the first to die. This ain't Daytona. Nobody dies in Daytona usually. Scarface. Chic. The first three. But I haven't seen them for a while. Yep, that car is totaled. And that's a real car. It's not CGI. Apache, jump on it. Jump on it. Jump on it. Action month? No, I'm not doing. I'm not doing theme months anymore, Salvatore. I haven't done a theme month it since last year because I wanted it to be different this year, not be predictable. Yep, blown up. Hmm. He's toast. I don't do theme months anymore because that's too predictable. That's all I was doing the last couple years. So I'm still reviewing stuff and doing podcasts, but I refuse to do a theme month. Then I have to stick to one thing. We're an hour and 2 minutes in, so we're almost done. Crazy. Activated. They really did this stunt. You see movies like this and you wonder what the hell happened to Fast and the Furious. These movies don't have half that budget and they look better because it's real people doing this. It's not CGI cars and flying in the air. That's stupid. That's dumb. Those movies went from racing to cartoon superhero movies, and not even a good one. Stage one is complete. You know what he looks like? He looks like a bald British Paul Walker. Yeah, but Paul Walker just is a few years before he passed away. I'm doing a podcast for one of his movies tomorrow. No thanks. Thoughts on Liam Neeson? His latest movies, I haven't seen them because I heard they were not that good. Girls don't really have much of a they don't have much of a personality in this movie. The one that has the most screen time is Lauren, and she's not good in the movie. She's just playing the Joan Allen part from the last movie. That's a cool shot. never gonna give you. An hour and 6 minutes in. Goes the spoils. She's not a piece of property. She's a human being. Yeah, with death rates in the title. Death Wish, Death Warrant, Death Ring, Death Match, Death on the Dishonor. Before Dishonor, Death Hunt. There's also Death Trap. March for Death. Yeah, this scene could have been cut for time. Like I said, the scene could have been cut for time. The first movie didn't have to have a scene like this. The 2008 movie, that is, not the original from the 70s. Mm-hmm. I'm just glad that after Fantastic Four, there isn't another Marvel movie for a while. So we're an hour and 10 minutes. Let's see, we got 85%. Yeah, a lot of foreigners in this movie. I notice. Hmm. That doesn't sound like much of an option. The movie's almost over, so thankfully it goes by really quick. It doesn't take an hour for something to happen. And that's a problem with some movies now. The first hour of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, they said was boring. That's a problem, guys. Last time that happened was two, and it was so dull. I haven't seen it in a while, and I don't own the movie. No. Hmm. Well, this movie's not Shawshank Redemption, guys. This is not even close to being that movie. Even though that movie flopped, it's considered the greatest movie of all time on IMDb. I think it's good. I just don't think it's the best movie you ever made. Mainly because it's way too long. 2 hours and 20 minutes is a lot, guys. I'm like, the story wasn't even probably that long, and they padded out with a lot of talk. I'm not gonna fall in a hole. If I dug myself out of that hole I was in from March to June, where I didn't have direction. I was so lost, and movies were just letting me down left and right. I was like, I need to dig myself out of this hole, and I did. Hmm. 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 Big Bill. Hmm. Stage two. And compared to other movies that come out today, unlike F1, this movie's not 2.5 hours. Again, screw you, Aaron Kruger. You wrote a script that should have been 2 hours or less, not 2.5 hours. You know what your problem is? You write too much filler in your movies. He did the same thing in the Transformers movie that he wrote, Dark of the Moon. That movie could have been 2 hours or under. You didn't need 35 characters that don't serve a purpose in that movie. It's too long. Stop writing filler in your movies. Top Gun Maverick didn't have a lot of filler. The most filler was the bar scene and the romance. That's it. Everything else was done well. Like the flying and the action was good, but some of the stuff could have been trimmed. I'm gonna put that in the bathroom. Yeah. Yep. Smoke screen. At the end in the stage three, he James Bond movie, least favorite James Bond movie, Honor Majesty Secret Service. Is so long and boring. I was like, I haven't watched it since. Plus, it has the worst ending. A downbeat ending. After all that, he gets a downbeat ending. It doesn't make any sense to me. Yep, that guy's dead. I can take this hat off for now. But the movie's almost over. There's a reason George Lazenby never did Bond ever again. Favorite one is License to Kill. Yep, that guy's done. Kaylin is dead. You saw it said Canada there. That's probably where they filmed this. Even though half the cast is from South Africa or England or something like that. Yeah, for some reason. Whoa. Car slipping over and kaplooey. Again, that's a real car. If this was Fast and the Furious, that car would have been just fine. Because they turned into a cartoon. That's not how it started. You see the first movie and they actually did stunts, and then you get to like movie 8 and 9 and they're like defying gravity. Makes no sense. I could only suspend my disbelief for so long. Superman didn't have any flying cars. Slow-mo shot. That was really cool in Superman. When he saves the girl in the city, that is still a cool shot even on the big screen. I got to see that. Cheryl and Bing Rings must be great friends in real life. They both were in Con Air and Force of Execution. I've never seen Force of Execution. Never heard of it. You list a lot of things, Salvatore. That's a real stunt, by the way. Real fire, well, mostly. That's real fire. Hmm. Napalm. That stuff is poisonous. It's not. We know. Yeah, don't call a girl that. What can I give? I don't know what accent that is, but I list all of the facts and details. I know, but this is a summer I'm not reading as much. I only read when I have to, like a comic or something, but not or a book. I'm not going to read a movie. That's why there's very little subtitles in this movie. Yep. heat-seeking missiles. Yeah, this movie has everything. Nearly every weapon you can imagine. He's fine. He wears a mask in the next fight, and he calls himself Frankenstein because he comes back from the dead. I can shut this off because I'm gonna go downstairs. I'll just start some of the clothes later. Why are you shooting at the prisoners? They didn't do anything. Yeah, he fired at one of the prisoners that's not even in the race. Yep, he got stabbed right in the eye. Oh, decapitation. He doesn't die, obviously, because it's the third act in the movie. This is why cars are hybrids now. He gets his face burnt. Those are real flames, by the way. They're not CGI. You could have got a fire extinguisher or some water or something. A slow mo shot. But it's not Zack Snyder where every 2 seconds he has to do a slow mo shot. That's why he has no excuses because he failed the DCU, and then when James Gunn took it from him, I'm like, yeah, it worked because his movies don't have to be 3 hours long by putting it in slow mo. There's some slow mo in Superman 2025, but it's not every 2 seconds. It's not in every action scene. No, it's not dead yet. Yeah, he almost got burned to death. Of course, he doesn't die because it would make no sense. If he dies, why is there a third movie coming out that came out after this? Good makeup effects for something low budget. He got second degree burns. I would say first degree burns, but he would be dead if he was first degree. See, there's Joan Allen from the first movie. It's a much better actress than you. Hmm. And that slow mo shot wasn't necessary in this scene. See, I told you, second degree burns. It's like Freddy Krueger. I think the makeup looks pretty good for a budget this low. There's the mask. That's a cool looking shot. Katrina destroyed a lot of homes in 2005. There's the mask. Yeah, they're creating it. And unlike Batman Begins, it didn't take an hour and 22 minutes to get to the. Yeah, it takes near the end to get the mask on here, but the movie's almost over. If this was Batman Begins, it would just be the first half of the film, or Dark Knight, or something like that. No, it doesn't need to take that long. Give us what we want early. Don't wait. With Superman, the first 5 minutes you get him in the suit. You don't have to wait an hour because they know that it's not Batman Begins or the Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises. Give us what we want early so we don't have to wait for it too much. That mask is pretty cool. It's the same one Statham wore in Death Race 2008. Or Casey Jones. Because I wonder who else is going to be added to the list of New York Comic Con in a couple of months. We're in the third act now. It's like 10 minutes left, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Cohen, you don't have any screen presence. Sorry. That's why she hasn't done a big budget movie by herself. Yeah. Where's your $1 billion hit? Nowhere. Yeah. Even Ken Jeong was in several $1 billion hits. He was in Transformers and Endgame. What were you in? Let's see. Raj. She was in The Walking Dead, this movie, and she did a couple of voices. Whoop de freaking do. Nobody cares. That is a cool mask. We were all wearing masks in 2020. This music is pretty cool. Mm. 'Cause- 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 Here we go. You don't see his face again. It's hard to race with a mask on. It's hard to walk in a mask. No, you're not on Netflix. We already know who he is. Second-degree burns. I never got more than a third-degree burn because I burned my hand once or twice. But I don't play with fire. I put them out. That's why when people light their cigarettes, I always step on them so that there's no fire. Yeah. Because vaping sticks, even though I hate them, they don't start fires. Cigarettes and cigars and weed do. But these idiots don't have to. They don't want to put out their smoking habit. They don't want to step on it or put it in an ashtray. You know, if you're gonna smoke, at least put it out. When people drink, do they? Some of them don't spill. They don't. They don't. Some of them leave their bottles on the floor. Recycle them. At least you could do is be a good citizen. If you have to have a habit, don't let me get involved. Don't leave your bottles in the street corner. It's dangerous. Yep, of course Sean Bean dies. He dies in half of his movies. Because he has to. You get what you deserve. Thank you. Thank you, Lucas. You get what you deserve, Lauren Cohen. Screw you. Yeah, you get exactly what you deserve. Just like Nicholas Hoult did in Superman. What happens to him, I was thrilled beyond compare. I said, do something to him, and they did. And I was very happy about that. Granted, Superman's not the one that attacks him, by the way. It's not. He breaks his door and he throws him, but he doesn't, you get what you deserve, biatch. Yeah. Gone. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. There's going to be a lot of happy producers at Warner Brothers being like, yeah, I noticed that with this movie, with Superman, they didn't have they had a different, yeah, exactly. I agree with that. There was no DC logo, and there was also no Warner Brothers logo. It was an original Superman logo. That was nice because it's nice. It's nostalgic without it feeling forced. Because this is DC's victory, not Warner Brothers. The first time they did Man of Steel, they didn't know what they were doing. He killed that girl. Trust me, she got what she deserves. You're not going to be in Death Race 3 or 4 or 2050. Yeah. That was it. Yeah, that was Death Race 2. The motor vehicles depicted in this film are dangerous. All stunts were performed in controlled environments, professional training. No attempt should be made to duplicate any action. I know. I'm not an idiot. I don't even drive a car. So thanks for watching, guys. Acknowledge me and watch this if you haven't seen it. I still think the 2008 movie is the best one because Statham really sold that movie. And also it has a better cast. The girls are way better in that than this one. because Joan Allen is a good actress, and then you have the Spanish girl who's way better than the South African chick and Lauren Cohen, who, I'm sorry, you get what you deserve. Remember the first Joker, what he said? You get what you freaking deserve? Yeah, you get what you deserve. And you deserve to die in this movie. And Sean Bean, because he's kind of barely a nothing character. So that was Death Race. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Vehicle 19. Later.